I didn't put lime on your apples today, so they didn't work out that great. James is also having some sponge cake with some strawberries, and I'm going to talk about the Phantom of the Open, which got top of the stack, the Flash, Air, Army of One, and Anomalisa. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk about the covers of these, how effective they were. So I'm just going to show you the covers really quick here, because that's important too. I feel frustrated when people don't put the work into things that I think that they should.
So you're talking about covers along the other things?
The cover art as well. I mean, you're selling your product according to the cover also. Yep. It's a part of it.
It should be.
It should be. So, oh, that fell down. I guess I'll talk about that right away because I'm going to have to pick it up anyway.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay. I got it. So, I got this given to me for free from the library. And I didn't get any that looked like that, but James will show you when he needs them, I guess. I got a lot of the ones that are just chocolate on marshmallow. And the thing is, I actually didn't like those ones. I tried them, although they probably have gelatin in them. Yeah, they do. So I ate gelatin. I didn't even think to look. But I normally don't eat marshmallows, and that's why. Because I don't want to eat gelatin, because gross. But, I don't know. I've been really lax on my diet lately. Well, actually the past year. We've been not doing great for that. I know, that's pretty good. And I've been eating meals like that too. But this ends up getting kicked into the mix. So, I'm always thankful for the treats that I'm given. Because it's nice to have a treat. But honestly, I don't think anybody would buy these things. The fun about s'mores is that it's easy to make at a campfire, and you eat them warm when the marshmallow's melted and the chocolate's melty, you know? That's the whole point.
Some people like
So this is not, this is a warm melty. What's the appeal? I don't get it. But anyway, get on to what I was going to be doing here. Because, anyway.
That dolphin thing looks kind of goofy, eh? Is it?
What?
Okay, that golfing thing looks kind of goofy.
It was really good.
That's
I didn't expect it to be.
No.
It's based on a true story. And I don't know, it's British humor or whatever.
Yeah, true story.
But man, the actors did an awesome job. I don't think I've seen any of these actors before. But wow, were they ever
funny?
They were great. They made me love these characters. Just love them. And
it's hard to love golfers.
Who would have thought that this is about a guy who decides he's going to be, he's entered the British Open Golf Championship, and he claims that he's a professional golfer, which he very much is not.
So he's doing the Eddie the Eagle thing?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
And it's amazing how they were blocking him from competing.
Okay.
I don't know. They were thinking, oh well, you're making fun of our sport, kind of thing, or whatever, right? But he wasn't.
Was he American?
No.
He was British. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess Scottish probably.
Okay.
But
the British way of playing is very different from the American way. So I would have guessed that it would be an American trying to make fun of it, but you say he's from there, so okay.
Yeah, he was, and he wasn't trying to make fun of it. He wanted to, he'd raised his family. Well, he married a woman. He fell in love. He had big dreams of what he wanted to do when he was young. He wanted to do all sorts of things, and he met this woman. He fell in love, and she had a son. And he was like, well, he has a father now, you know, and he's a good guy. He's a really good guy, and you'll just love him when you watch this. You're like, yeah, he's awesome. So he gives this boy a father. He's a good father, a good fighter. He works, does Joe jobs whole life, whatever. And then his kids are grown. He had a couple, like twins with her also. So they have 3 children together. And you love all of them. You love all of the people, all of this whole family. You just love them. They're just normal people. And he decides, you know, I've done all these things, you know, I've worried about them making sure that they get what they need and they do what they want to do, and now, you know, I want to go do some golf. So he wants to be a part of it. And
he wants to be a pro golfer.
Yes. Yeah, that's what he wants to do. But he is very much not.
He's that bad, is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's really bad. But well, I'm probably way better than me.
Of course.
You know, I'm really bad at that. My grandpa, when he was getting older, he started going to the golf courses, and he'd bring me along, and
Sweet.
I did not do well. And
He
you know,
bought
but
some small
he
sticks for
probably,
you and stuff like that?
No.
Oh, you were getting up there.
No, I was just trying to use the bigger ones. But I mean, I just wanted to be company for my grandpa. I loved, you know, when I was
go fishing
really
with
little,
him
I loved fishing with him. And then he said, well, if you catch it, you got to kill it. And that was it. I didn't go anymore. And, you know, I think we both lost out because of that.
Yeah. You could watch hockey together with him.
Yeah, I just loved spending time with
what was
Grandpa. I
happening.
loved him.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway,
He had good taste in hockey teams. He liked the Oilers at Wayne Gretzky.
I don't know. I just know we watched.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'd recommend this to everyone. It's so good. But I mean, given what else I was watching, I'm not comparing it to CSI season 1 to 5 because I already kind of tried to review this twice already. But I'm just comparing it to these ones. So this got top of the stack for these 5. So there's that, and I actually think the cover is pretty good. You kind of know what's going to happen in that, right? Like James was said, golf. You know, it's going to be about golf, even though
kind of goofy. He's dressed kind of
and
goofy.
yeah, and you know it's going to be a comedy. The Flash.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, the cover, you have 3 superheroes
3 of them
pictured on the cover. And so you kind of know what to expect a bit. And,
very much DC.
but,
hero.
I mean, and Flash, he's in the middle there.
Yeah.
So you know it's going to be about him. So the cover is effective enough. You know what you're getting. You see the cover, you're like, oh yeah, that must be that Flash movie. There you go.
I would say I preferred the old uniform, but he used to be my favorite superhero.
Well, honestly, I'll talk about this. I really like seeing Michael Keaton as Batman again. I don't know how you'd feel about that, but
well,
I love Michael Keaton.
He's getting up there. But
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was good for me. Apparently the Flash, he's like wound himself into some other reality kind of thing, and where he ends up, he's and in the end you see he's not in the right place too. But where he ends up, there's no Superman.
Yikes!
Yeah.
What can you do?
No Clark Kent. He's not there. They tried to find him. They thought they found him. They went to get him, and it's a woman. And you're like, okay. So she's his cousin, and she's Supergirl or whatever, and but she doesn't look like Supergirl. She has dark hair, and she looks kind of maybe a little bit butch. But
Yeah.
she's pretty miffed that Zod has killed off Clark Kent. I just gave something away. It doesn't matter into the story. It does to her because it gives her reason to fight or whatever. But
Yeah, Zod's a bad guy. Isn't
yeah,
he from
I mean, it doesn't
Twilight
matter
Zone?
to you. You know he's a bad guy. So anyway, and it's not a part of the story. It's just, oh yeah, that happened, right? So anyway, there's a lot of great special effects in this, which you would expect from one of these superhero movies. So they put in a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the Flash in this is a total flamer. He has the Homo Slavian accent, the works. Yet,
That's awesome.
he seems to have interest in girls, because there's this one love interest that he has and stuff. So I don't know if they're going to make a story out of that later, like, oh, he finds who he really is, or I don't know.
There are some people, they say.
Because he seems pretty darn... Anyway. Or else if they don't do something with that, then they pick the wrong actor. Because he seems so... Anyway. Anyway. James liked the Flash as a superhero. He's a superhero sort of person. I never liked the Flash, and I never liked Batman, honestly. Superman's cool.
Actually, now that I think about it, he's my second favorite. My favorite was...
You like Green Lantern. Yeah.
Remember that
Which
one?
I can respect.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to this. There was a lot of bragging. Honestly, for a Flash movie, I want a little more Flash, right? And there wasn't enough of that. There was a lot of, oh, let's do this again, no. Oh, okay, that just makes it drag even more. So, yeah, I really, this wasn't that great. I put it above these ones, but I'll get to that.
The thing that used to weird me out with Flash was how he fitted his costume and his ring.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do now. They don't give it away to people. It's a big mystery.
I don't know. Whatever. People who like superhero movies, they'll watch it, they'll like it, whatever. It just was not for me.
I hope they like it.
Air. This cover is terrible. What's this movie about? Do you know? Looking at this cover? I didn't. I thought it must be...
So it's kind of trying to be, like a lot of basic. There's an Arab or person there. There's that black person there.
Yeah.
There's someone
They were doing too much.
could be Caucasian, although he kind of looks.
What's this
Latino.
movie about? Do you have any idea looking at the cover?
Basketball.
Oh my gosh, you got it. I did not know that. When I looked at this cover, I thought it was going to be about some radio talk show people or something.
Okay, so it's about something like Air Jordans.
Yes, it was. Jordans. That's what it was about. Now, what this cover should have been is a pair of Air Jordans just lifting off into a layup. Just the shoes, not anybody in the shoes, just the shoes as they're raising into a... That would have been a great cover. This is not.
These guys look like a bunch of losers. So, what is the whole idea? They're selling Air Jordans or something like that way back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh,
so this is about the whole,
marketing.
The true story behind the marketing of these, the making, the creation of these shoes that made loads and loads of money. And the fact that Michael Jordan got kickbacks, that was part of his contract that he agreed to, was that he would make a percentage of the sales for each pair of shoes forever of his.
So when you say kickbacks, it's not corruption or whatever.
No. It was a good idea because, I mean, he profited a lot off of it, and so did the company. And my favorite part was reading all of the stats at the end about how much money they made and about, all that sort of thing. And I mean, I like that with the true stories. I like reading the stuff at the end. I like seeing the real people. I like, So there was that about this movie, and the actors. You see this lineup here, and you're like, okay, well they're good actors, so this is going to work out. But honestly, without these actors, I felt like it kind of explained the process of how the Air Jordans were marketed, how they used this this guy who was up and coming, going to be big star,
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, who to market their shoes, right, to people, and then this movie, they're using these actors to market this movie, which markets the shoes, which markets, you know what I mean? So I kind of, I found that a little bit interesting, but
Of course.
honestly,
He would have
without
retired
these
almost
actors,
20 years
this
ago.
is not a movie worth watching. And it's barely worth watching as it is. Honestly, it's basically a nostalgia film. So you watch it when you think about, oh yeah, I remember how popular Air Jordans were. I had a pair and oh, how I love them, or whatever. I don't know.
I remember how
I
good
remember
Michael Jordan was.
Whatever. It's one of those nostalgia films, and so it's just packed full of '80s music and stuff. So it takes you back there and whatever. But
he was the greatest of all time.
Who cares?
He was the goat, as they said. The goat.
Army of One. I thought that Nicolas Cage did a great job in this. Actually, it's a different character than he normally plays.
Yeah, and he's playing opposite a guy who's starting to look as though his lifestyle's catching up with him.
He still looks handsome.
He still looks handsome.
Yeah, you just like men to be rather thin.
I don't think he's put on weight. He's just getting some wrinkles and stuff. No.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he were a bit of a smoker. And not just, like cocaine and stuff like that. But anyway, to me, he's like the most handsome guy ever. Because
I know.
I prefer guys with long hair. It doesn't matter if they've got beards. I prefer mustaches, I think. But that's the way rock and rollers should look. Not the way they should act, but...
and well, maybe the makers of this movie thought so too, given who he plays in this. But anyway, the movie is about a guy who he's just a regular sort of American man, and he decides he wants to go catch Osama bin Laden himself.
Before Osama bin Laden got toasted, okay.
Yeah. So this story's about him.
Now it's made up, or is this...
no, based on mostly true story of Gary Faulkner.
Okay. Well, as far as I'm concerned, he's a good guy. No one was doing much of anything for a long time.
Yeah. But anyway, this guy, he seems kind of nutty or whatever. Maybe a little bit manic, honest, or...
There's people like that out there.
So he's really wired. He's really... but he doesn't research things, so not like...
like hypomanic people who manage to keep it under control, they can be very, very creative.
Yeah.
So,
like, he decides he wants to sail to Pakistan. He gets a boat.
Yeesh,
it doesn't work out at all.
Yeah, he didn't do his research.
He doesn't know how to sail a boat.
Oh.
He doesn't even know how to put up the sails. And here he is. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to go, right?
This sounds manic, or whatever they call it now. Like,
well, they say in this movie at the beginning, they say, this guy has... the psychiatric community or whatever has not said that he's insane at all. He doesn't have, they don't say he's schizophrenic or bipolar or anything. But we'll let you decide, And And how they're portraying it, you're thinking he's pretty manic, right? But
Big difference between that and schizophrenia.
and he can't hold down work
Job?
really.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a handyman, but I mean, he could do stuff for a while, but he can't stick with it. I mean, this goal to find Osama bin Laden seems to be his life's purpose for a while, and it doesn't. That's what he keeps going back to, right? He'll do something for a little while, he'll stay with the woman he loves, and then right back to try and find, right? And even when Osama bin Laden has been captured and buried at sea, he doesn't believe it. He wants to go back to. So he's going to keep doing it, right?
There's so many successors to Osama bin Laden. He should have gone after the leaders of ISIS and whacked them. As many as he could.
Anyway.
Leaders, followers.
Yeah, I didn't really think the movie was great though. As much as I was impressed with Nicolas Cage, which I have talked about Nicolas Cage before and how much I used to love him, and I thought, maybe he should be on a watch list, like for don't watch, right? Because he does so many really awful things.
I like Raising Arizona.
Oh, I loved it.
I was pretty well all done from there.
Yeah. But he did a great job in this.
Yeah,
it's just the vehicle really. I don't know that it was really worth watching.
So he looks kind of like a friendly guy. Is he trying to keep Russell Brand under control or something?
Well,
or do you know
he's charming enough. I mean, he manages to. He got the money for the boat by talking to his doctor. He's on. He's getting. What do you call it for the kidneys? What is that called when you get the
dialysis?
Yeah, he's getting dialysis every week, and he asked his.
I wouldn't want to be going anywhere.
No.
No.
And he asked his doctor if he can borrow $1,000 because he wants to buy a boat and sail to Pakistan, right?
Wow. Okay.
So so he's charming. He manages to get people to let him sleep on their couch or whatever, right? He's
lots of people who are manic or hypomanic can be very charming. Charm the pants off almost anything, but they can be dangerous if they're not on some sort of medication.
Well, he didn't seem dangerous, so
they can be dangerous to themselves. So.
Yeah, well, it's not good to be, when you're needing dialysis.
Yeah,
he wants to right now he's hoping to make enough money off of that movie, I guess, to buy a kidney so that he can go back onto his life purpose, whatever.
Well, I want to encourage him to go after the successors to Osama bin Laden, get them all, wipe the earth from their of their existence, every one of them.
So this one's stop. What do you call it? Stop animation, or what do you call that? Stop frame? Stop motion. Oh, anyway.
Does it go all the way through?
Yep, the whole movie. Well, I didn't watch much of it. I was writing poetry,
right?
Exactly
right. Sometimes you got to do that with every song.
When I looked up, I thought, they did a good job with the, artistically, but visually. But I need more than that in a movie, and this did not give it. It was really boring. And a lot of the women's voices were done by men. And it was obvious. And
why would people do that?
I don't know why they would do it.
Just trying.
There's not enough women out there to to do voices for this. Like, it didn't make any sense.
This is the way of the past. Women should get 50% of the road. I can't see why not. I mean,
anyway,
pretty well anything. Women should get 50% of the jobs, probably more, because they're at least as smart as the average man. I don't believe in quotas.
No.
But if you had.
No, I mean, it should speak for itself, really. I mean, there's some positions, I guess, still women, for the most part, don't want to be engineers. So if you looked in an engineering department, it would not have a lot of
Computer science.
women. Or,
But
you know, but
the hiring should be done objectively,
yeah.
on tests objectively.
But that doesn't
framed,
mean that more women should
objectively
get
marked,
jobs just to make up the
administered
quota
objectively. No.
in those areas.
Absolutely not.
You know, it should
If women,
it should be looked into. I mean, if there are jobs, if there are businesses that where women aren't up 50% of the workforce, then they should look into it and say, is there discrimination here? Is that a factor? Or,
You should look
you know,
carefully at things.
but
So-
if discrimination isn't a factor, and that can be easily shown if you have tests that people do before the people doing the hiring see the person, they're just objectively administered, objectively marked, double blind, then that proves that, yeah, this wasn't a factor. You know, this sexism wasn't a factor.
So there are some other possible factors, like been looking through some old high school and particularly university directories and stuff like that. Fascinating looking at one of my previous girlfriends. She hung around with about the only frat club, and they didn't even allow frat clubs then, so they just had clubs. And I'm looking at it now. Oh, these guys are pre-engineering and a bunch of losers. So what they minored in was engineering, pre-engineering, and majored in drinking and serious, a kind of way. So I'm looking at one of their club photos. 33 men, 9 women, and what would that be? 24. Well, 24 men, 9 women out of 33, whatever. And I'm going, yeah, what a bunch of losers. No. The woman that I went with around then, just a little bit before then, she decided to dump me and go back to the guy who belonged to this club. They call themselves lepers, and I'm going, Jesus, you guys really know how to drag down lepers. Lepers can't help it. But you know, like if you've got these kind of little fraternities and stuff like that, what woman wants to be hanging around? Aside from one of my exes, wants to be hanging around in circles like that. So stuff has to be looked at carefully and things like that. Little associations, clubs, so on and so forth. They shouldn't allow fraternities. These guys are a bunch of frat boys. The emphasis on boys, but it's hilarious. And understand, you know, I can remember this guy. I was playing indoor soccer at the university. First game we played against the professors. We had 4 players and a goaltender. They had like 8 players, and you were allowed substitutes. Well, within 5 minutes, they'd injured this little Ethiopian who was like 5'0" in platform heels. And yeah, this was way back in the 70s. So here we were playing 3 men and then a little guy limping around against just wave after wave of professors. Now it got worse. So the lead professor played Irish rules football. And I'm telling you, if I'd been a referee, him playing soccer, he'd off pitch. It would just be, that's your warning. You do not use your bum to check someone. Okay, you've been warned twice. Red, you get a yellow card. Well, that's the 4th time